Hey, what's up? Bonjour, bonsoir, buenos dias, buenas noches. What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about Black Ink Crew. If you're not yet part of the family, definitely make sure that you go ahead, you turn on your post notifications, you hit subscribe. I am doing a little bit of rebranding and things like that, so you will be noticing a few changes over the next few weeks, but it's not gonna be nothing major or anything like that. It's still gonna be the same as, just a few different things, like I said, but that ain't nothing big. I just wanted to let y'all know real quick. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, because this was a pretty good episode, right? It was a lot of drama that was going down. So we back. It was the fight episode, So now we got to see a little bit more of everything that went down. So Bae ended up hitting Crystal with a glass right in her face. So that's how everybody just started fighting, where Crystal came and rushed after her and I guess hit her with something, or maybe punched her. I don't know what happened. I'm assuming that she probably hit her with a glass back, you're not about to hit me with no glass and things gonna rock. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, things definitely got pretty violent. I remember back in the days, and Alex has said this too, but back in the days, just like with Love and Hip Hop and with Bad Girls Club, you used to be able to see the fights. I mean, not saying that I condone it or whatever, but I mean, I ain't mad at them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it gives me things that I'm not going to do in real life because I don't want to get in trouble and go to jail, I mean, we'll hope that I wouldn't, but them blackout moments be crazy, right? But, as I was saying, on a real note, it's just so different now that it's 2022. We have so many activists. We have so many hashtags and, just things are, like I said, so different nowadays. It's like everything's a movement. But so it looks like Bae, she, like I said, she started bleeding. She was bleeding from the side of her ear coming down. The ambulance had to come. So it was definitely something. Cesar had, the fellas ended up talking to Cesar the next day or whatever, and they told him how everything happened, and pretty much one of the things that Puma had mentioned when he was talking was pretty much, he had said that it was actually the things that, no, actually Cesar wasn't there yet. It was just all the other fellas that was talking, but the crazy thing is that, no, Cesar was there. Yes, Cesar was there. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to remember in my head. I'm seeing him at the table, but then I'm seeing him not at the table, but I'm pretty sure he was at the table. But anyways, so one of the things that Puma said, the whole point of the thing that I was trying to say is that Puma was if Cesar didn't throw the nuggets and try to throw all of them on the bus saying they don't even like you, this would not have led Tatiana to want to know if they like her or they really F with her or not. And that's how this whole thing happened. So him being the boss, he definitely should have minded his words and did that a little bit better. You telling what your employees are telling you in confidence and telling your employee that your other employees don't like them is causing controversy. That's a great way to start problems. In some other places, that could have been a whole shootout. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? That is super unprofessional. And I do feel as a boss, maybe he should have gone to some etiquette class. Didn't they do etiquette class? They did it, right? But anyway, they should have did something different, because he should have went to some kind of, CEO training or something, because he's just not doing it. HR classes, whatever, because this was not it. And then he looked most upset at the fact that Nichelle and Drea were there. Wait, our guests were there and they did this? Bro, get out of here. You try to get replacements and you mad because they seeing how you moving? Because even Drea was saying she's not sure. She's from New York, but she's not really sure she want to be on this type of time, and if this is how they're moving. Which, I mean, you do have to think. You're moving all the way from Chicago back to New York or whatever. You definitely have to make sure that you're making the proper business decision at the end of the day, because doesn't she have her own thing on the side? Then she had it where she was with Black Ink Chicago or whatever. So yeah, you definitely have to make sure that this is a proper move before you do it. But Spider and Alex, you know, they were the main ones that was there. So they was giving all the juice from everything that was happening at the thing. When Tatiana, she speaks to Bae, when Tati speaks to Bae, she tells her that, you know, she's happy that she didn't drink. And she was told by her parole officer that, is it parole or probation? Her PO, that if she were to get in trouble, it's a minimum of 4 years if she does anything wrong. So she was not trying to get in trouble. And under, like, from what I'm thinking and from what I've heard, aren't you not even supposed to drink anyway? So I don't even think she could have drank if she wanted to, because you have curfews. You can't drink. You can't do drugs because you do get P-test. I know, like, the liquor would not stay in there. But, you know, if you're doing it on camera, obviously people will be able to see you. So, yeah, I don't think that that would have been wise either way. I don't think you would have been able to either way. So there was a reason why you stayed sober. And she was like that, you know, she ended up leaving and stuff like that, like as soon as things got crazy. And then she says in the commentary, like, oh, that she feels like they effed up and put her in a compromising situation. And I'm like, homie, at the end of the day, Bae didn't even have anything to do with this. She got in there because she was being a friend to you. She was trying to make sure that everything was good with you and they wasn't talking to you crazy. That's the reason why, because she was holding you down. Like, at the end of the day, do you even know what a friend is? Like, yeah, I see where she's coming from, but that's one of the main things that she should have said. Like, even if you like, yo, like, if it was my friend, like, I can't believe she did that, yo. Like, she could have really got me in trouble, but I know that she F's with me at the end of the day. Like, she had my back, you know, and I'm going to be forever grateful for that. You know, you didn't hear her say nothing about no grateful. Like, she's thankful to have somebody, like, a friend like Bae. Like, none of that. She's just worried about the fact that she could have went down. I mean, I get it because that's your freedom, but still, like, I don't know. So Crystal, she was already not feeling too good about the whole deal situation. She talked to her dad about it. He was trying to push her, like, you know, this is going to really help you to get more money, elevate yourself, and having the name of Black Ink on your company as well. I don't know. I feel like she's already pretty established. I don't know how many followers she has, but she's great at tattoos. She has Rock as well, who's pretty good. And on top of that, they've been on the show for a decent amount of time. So I feel like she could still do well without the Black Ink name, like, stamped on her. But, you know, she's kind of contemplating that and like, yo, if everything falls, like, this is going to mess me up too. So she's like, for her, it's not just about the money. It's more than that. So she's really thinking about it. But the crazy thing about it is that Cesar ends up talking to the fellas and stuff again. And he talks about some, wait, was it Cesar or was it, I remember it was Teddy that had mentioned it. He was kind of like, you know, with everything that's happening, you can't be, the deal's no longer on the table. So Rock, he was a little mad about that because he's like, he didn't even do anything, first of all, and Crystal didn't even start the fight. So why is it that they're getting dropped? And he's just like, well, you know, y'all rocking together and that's just how it is, you know, that's your business partner. And it's like, y'all holding some grudge stuff. Like, this is so unprofessional. You know what I mean? That's why they need to get lawyers and stuff to look over these contracts. Good thing they didn't sign anything yet, because imagine, like, then you would have to get, like, legal stuff. And at the end of the day, Cesar has a lot more money than they do. So that's, like, another problem. It's like, you get into business with him, anything goes wrong, they can sue you very easily. You know, they can try to cut through loopholes and get legal this and legal that, and pretty good lawyers on top of that, as opposed to you guys. So I don't know, they just definitely need to be careful with who they sign a deal with. You know, you could be signing a deal with the devil at the end of the day. So they all went to Gatorland. And yes, I went to Gatorland just last month, y'all. I might insert a little picture of me playing with one of the gators. But yeah, they got to feed the gators and stuff. They got to feed the big ones. I didn't get to do that because by the time we got to that part, it was like too late to do that. So I didn't get to feed the gators, but I did get to go. Well, I did feed them, not the ones that are close up, the ones that were like behind the cages and stuff. I was giving them the gator meals, but I didn't get to give them chicken, like the ones that eat meat, because the ones that we saw were the more domesticated ones, the ones that were like pets, I guess, if you want to say. But the ones they was feeding, those are the ones that they're not ready. They probably knew. They didn't want to acclimate. They ain't trying to be like everybody else. They like, I want my meat. I remember they was telling us about those too. So yeah. Other than that, I mean, it was definitely a good experience. So they look like they had a good time. The ones that did get a chance to go. Bae, she ended up speaking to Cesar privately and just telling him her side of the story, which is that, you know, she had the glass in her hand. She went to throw the liquid, which was juice or alcohol. She didn't even know, but it was so heavy and wet, you know, that when she threw it, it just slipped out of her hand and boop, just hit the girl in her face. She was like, but she didn't say it in her face. She's like, it hit her, but I don't even know what happened to it after that. Like, it just left my hands. Like, I mean, it's possible that, you know, that could be her story and she's sticking to it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have them blackout moments when you get so vexed that you can't think, man, that you don't even, sometimes you dissociate. You don't even know, like, what the hell just happened. Like, it's just like you try to ask somebody and they'll tell you they don't know, and you think that they're lying, but they're actually serious because their brain blocked out that trauma. They blocked out that part of whatever happened. You know, it was in flight or fight mode and fight one. So yeah, that definitely, you know, a little crazy. So he was just like, you know what, he's mad at her the most, but what he's going to do is he's going to talk to them all in a meeting. Tatiana, when they had the meeting, you know, they start talking about it. Vanity says that the glass that Bae threw hit Crystal in the face and it could have cut her. That's why everything just got crazy after that. And that's what happened. Tatiana was like, you know, Bae was wrong. And she was like that she was sober. So as soon as everything started, she left. She had to make sure she said that once again. She's like, P.O., I said it. I wasn't a part of that. Don't try to say, like, girl. So she says, you know, she was like, because she couldn't get in trouble. And Chris was like, out of all people, like, you know, you can't get in trouble, but you come in here asking questions and stuff like that, like you ready to fight, you know what I'm saying? And Boomer, he was like, so do you think that walking into a bar, you know, when you were not even invited in the first place was a good idea? You know, and she's like, no, I don't think that it was an idea. I probably shouldn't even came. He's like, wow, that's the first bright thing that you've said this whole entire time. Like the first time you said something that made sense. I'm like, damn, yo, they really ain't want you there, girl. You should have stayed home for real, because look at all of this. So now Cesar, he walks up, he ready. You know, he was kind of silent at first. He wasn't really saying too much. I guess he was still thinking, like, is this going to be a right move? Is this what I'm supposed to do? Yeah, I got to show them who's the boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just thinking about those things in his head, I'm assuming. So he ends up telling her, he ends up saying, Nichelle, Drea, pack your bags. You're coming to Black Ink, Brooklyn. And he's like, Crystal, Vanity, Bae, Tatiana, you're all fired. Like, I'm like, wait. Because Tatiana, she's like, she's been holding this place down for, it's crazy how, like, you could be at the top of your game one day, then the next day you ain't shit. Like, somebody, like, you do one thing wrong, everything that you've done right is no longer valid. It's like null and void, you know? It's like, this is what you're known as now when you do something wrong. So it was just pretty much all of them, like, Crystal, Vanity, Bae, Tatiana, all of them fired. And like I was saying, Tatiana did so much. Bae, she's one of the top artists, but she got her own shit. So I know at the end of the day, she's still making money. You know, Vanity, she's, well, we don't really even know her. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't say much about her. And Crystal, she's another top artist. And now she got her own stuff that she's in formation. So, I mean, at the end of the day, she could focus more so on her own stuff. And I'm pretty sure they might have some type of contracts with VH1 or, you know, Black and Crew or whatever. So maybe they can't even get thrown off mid-season. But as far as if there is going to be a next season, because we already know what went down, then that's probably where the problem lies. But yeah, I mean, once he said that, he pretty much walked away, dropped the mic, and that was the end of the conversation. So I don't know, you know, what's going to happen. But I'm like, yo, this man done pissed off so many people. they gonna put that brujeria on him because all of a sudden, I don't know if it was directly after this, but according to the coming attractions, it seems like what happened next was a direct result of what happened, you know, here. Like here, you just messed up all these people. All of a sudden here, your whole life got destroyed. So now you fight. But we're going to talk about that with the next one because we don't really know too much yet. You know, we just saw a little clip, so we ain't going to say too much. But definitely let me know what you guys thought about this episode down below. You know, check out my main channel, which is Coach D some more. I'm doing a lot of relationship types of shorts as well as actual videos on there. So they're really interesting. We got a lot of stuff going on. And yeah, like I said, we're gonna kind of connect the two channels as I've always done. So the name of this channel will be changing very soon, as well as some other stuff. So I'm excited, y'all. 2023, we moving, we shaking. Thanks so much for rocking with me, and I will see you guys on the next one. Laters.